because it's nearly 12 o'clock my time. So, we've got a wee bit of an update with Farquhar, and yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a wee look to see how the progress is so far before its next show. Just before I do here, I just noticed there's a wee bit of light there. It's a wee bit dark here, so let me just grab a bit more light here. Just a wee second. That should do the trick. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so Farquhar's got its next show in March, so I thought I'd do like a wee update video, give you guys a wee insight as to what's been going on with the layout so far and what's to do in terms of preparations for the show come the end of next month. So yeah, I'll just quickly run through it real quick. So one of the main things that needs to be sorted out is the rolling stock for Farquhar because, like you see at the moment here, I think Carbo going for a bit of a wee change here of livery. That's because we're still trying to decipher exactly what shade of brown the original coaches were. So at some point, I think at some point next month, I think I'm going to be seeing the real Farquhar at a model show. So. I'll see if I can get some reference photographs of that and see if there's any way we can do a comparison of shades. I think I do have one shade of brown. I think it's the right shade for the coaches, and if it is, then we're going to use that. Also, there's in terms of like some of the good stock as well. You can see my two wagons and the sidings over there. I'll just go a wee bit close there so you can see them. So these are my what was it? City of EMF Gas and the Sun Coal wagons. These were basically made from. Let me see. That one's a Lima wagon, I think. Let me just check it real quick. Yeah, Lima. Yeah, so that was a second-hand Lima wagon I got, and then this one's a ratio kit that I modified. But having looked at the originals when I was at the Audrey Extravaganza last year, apparently that's not the case really. But I'm okay with this wagon. This wagon's okay. I'm okay to use that though because Rev Audrey did use like an old version of ratio kits to make this wagon. Apparently that's what we found out. But this one was a different version, a different wagon kit compared to what the original was, because I think the original was a discontinued kit, so it's a bit hard to find now. But the City of Emo Gas one, that's one I'm gonna have to try and maybe redo again because the original one is actually a scratch built one that was made to Reverend Audrey as a present. So I'm gonna have a I'm gonna see if I can get some photographs of the original wagon and see if I can get this painted up in the I'll get it made up in the same fashion as the original was. I think I might just put a triangle chassis underneath it and just make up the bodywork myself. But apparently, this is actually these two wagons. Even though I run these like wagons on the layout, these aren't actually the right ones to use on Farquhar. Well, one of them is okay. City of Gas, that's okay. I can run that wagon on this layout here during the time period. But the Suncoal wagon didn't come around until during the 60s. And so most of my time operating Farquhar, it's mostly going to be operating the 1950s schedule that you would have read in the Railway Modeler article. And so in order to get the correct rolling stock, I have to make sure I use the right ones. So what's going to be in the place of the Suncoal wagon until we can get the rest of the rolling stock for the 60s operation sequence? Uh, that's very simple, really, and that's because I managed to get hold of the right wagon, and it's a Pico wagon apparently. I do have it in my display case. If I just run over quickly and get it, just put the thing there. Sorry, I got like a wee wall cabinet in my apartment here. So this is the wagon here. This is actually the wagon that's actually meant to be used. It's a bit aged now here, but originally this was actually grey. But you can see here it's all aged and yellowed. But I quite like that. It's quite a nice look for it, really. But yeah, this is actually the other wagon that ran with the City of English gas wagon on Farquhar. So that's going to be taking the place of that. And I can just swap the coal load over. The coal load, by the way, here is it's not what they used on the original loads. I think he used painted cork. I think bits of cork chippings put onto a bit of decking. But this is actually some foam packaging that a friend of mine told me to use. So Yeah, just sits in place there. And it's actually quite a nice color contrast really between the two wagons. See what I mean? But yeah, that's gonna be what I'm gonna be running here. And then also the oil tanker as well. That's also wrong as well. That I had running before the green soda oils limited tanker. Again, that didn't come around until the 60s. So what am I going to use in its place? Well, apparently there actually was another oil tanker, but it was a red. I think it was a red tanker. I think because having looked at some of the other wagons that this wagon is based off here, they actually were colored red. So it's a mobile oil red tanker wagon that originally worked this line. So I have to try and see about making one of those. I can get one from Hornby Dublo. I can get. I know there's some shops that do them second hand, but they're not the right ones though. They have like this is one where it had a different logo on it. I've looked at the original photograph of the original tanker wagon, and yeah, the what do you call it, the logo of mobile oil on it there is different. So I thought might as well try and paint it up in that livery. I'll see if I can get a new decal made up, custom one made up of that logo. See if I can source out the original one and do that. So yeah, that's all quite good. Then finally, the last thing I need to get here is a new cattle wagon because the one I have at the moment here, it's not really working as well as we planned it to. It's the right type that we need to get, like the right sort. It's an LMS cattle wagon, but even though there are two cattle wagons in the Ffarquhar branch stock box, the later one, the Airfix one, that didn't come around again. That didn't come around until the 60s. So the one before it, which is what it's actually still operating on Farquhar today on the original layout, is actually a Slater's kit. So I just found that out by a friend on RN Web. I actually inquired on our RN Web if anybody knew what cattle wagon this kit was, or what kit the cattle wagon was, and somebody says it was a Slater's kit. So it pretty much matches up completely. I don't have the cattle wagon with me to show you right now because it's actually in a box somewhere here. So, but yeah, we're going to see about finding another Parkside kit and try and see if we can try and make that up again, make some improvements to it. But another thing I also just found out as well here, it's really a bit. At first I found it a bit odd here, but apparently the good stock didn't in the early days did not have the NW on their sides until much later on. So I'm now starting to think. I'm now wondering, should I actually have rolling stock without the NW? That's including one of the brake fans as well. Like one of the brake fans did not have NW on it, and I'm just wondering, should I have one brake fan without NW, but to have another one that does? I don't mind really, because I mean I've got. Let me see. I've got a Graham Farris brake fan, and one of the original ones. I've got the original Graham Farris brake fan. I've got the Triang one. But then there's another brake fan that Revnology has, but that's again we don't know what kit that is. We're still trying to find out which kit that is. It might be a Slater's kit, but it dates back to the 40s. So we're still trying to figure out what that is. I've asked Luke Ryan at Tattaclan about this here, and he's not so sure exactly what make it is. So it's the jury's out on that there. All we know is that it's a kit of some form because Revnology states in his notes that it is a kit. So yeah, that's good. That's going to be a bit of a bit of an Easter egg hunt for you guys. If you guys want to lend a hand with this here, trying to decipher what kit this is, or what make or model this brake van is. So if you guys want to know which brake van we're talking about, if you look at some of the previews, I think on the Telecom's Narrow Gauge Railway Museum video, the video that Luke did a few Christmases back, where he shows Farquhar running. It's the brake van that Mavis takes out with the stone trucks. It's that brake van. So if you guys want to have a good look at it, try and decipher exactly what make a brake van it is, and if you found out what it is, do get in contact with us because we would really like to know. Because it would be a great help to us. But yeah, that's pretty much it really, as far as I can in terms of good stock here. Now you will also notice I'm now focusing on this side here for a section here, and I think you guys are going to be asking questions about why is this siding very tight. And again, there's a reason behind that there, and it's because having looked at the original photographs of Farquhar in the Railway Modeler article, it turns out they're actually that these sidings actually were originally tight radius compared to the rest of these. Now, I think this is probably down to a note that Reverend Audrey said in the article where he says, I think he says the minimum radius that we had for our curves was 18 inches, I think. So I don't know whether this is 18 inches radius, but I could I've got a what do you call it, a track set of template somewhere. I think I've actually loaned it to my club, but I'll see if I can get it back to compare. But if this is the case, then I'll have to maybe reprofile these again here. But the reason why I have these like this here is just because the positioning of the coal bunker is actually in the wrong place. Because originally I had it here. You can see where the mark is here. I originally had the coal bunker here, but apparently it's actually here. It's actually meant to be over here somewhere. So that's what I have to try and do. So I've moved that over to there, and the tricky part now was to try and make sure that the coal bunker does not go in here with the movements of Thomas or Daisy as they go around this curve, or any rolling stock in general that goes around this curve. Now I'm still trying to iron out this curve a wee bit here, because like, even though I'm running with like small wheelbase engines on this layout here, Thomas in particular, I'm just a wee bit not sure. I'm not sure exactly whether he will be able to manage this curve or not here, but he just about goes around it. If I just set the points here, it's all set to go. Yeah. Why? Oh yeah, no, I've got the set right track right set. There we go. So he can just about get around that corner. Okay. Again, there's a wee bit of a kink there in that point there. I think I just need to move this turnout a bit here now, smoothing that out. But apart from that, yeah, actually that point does need actually moved up a bit, because that's what's causing that wee small kink. So I'll need to get that pinned down at some point. But yeah, that's just the way that was originally planned on the original layout. And I think I'm trying to remember, in the 60s sequence cards, I think that they're actually, as usually this is actually meant to be for the brake van to be placed here, but also I think in the 60s sequence cards there was two more bits of rolling stock that were added with the brake van for this here. I think that was the gunpowder van and the soda oils tanker. I think that's where it went to. I need to look back at it again here, but that's not for me to worry about right now here, because like I said, we're trying to get this to run to the 1950s sequence here. So yeah, I'll just put Thomas back there for filling up with cold water for the time being. I'll just see if I can get any Clarabelle set here for his return journey, because I think you guys want to see Thomas running back to the Philly yards, don't you? Okay, so what else do I need to get sorted? Oh yeah, I think I said it at one point. I can't remember if I did say this in the previous video or not, the previous live stream update of this layout, but I was having issues with the crossover sections with the baseboard. That was what we had trouble last time here, because every time we took the layout to a show, there was always issues with leveling the track, because I had copper clapboards on the joints around about here, and that was to try and help align the track together when the baseboards are folded up and assembled, ready for the show. But the problem is that every time I run an engine on it here, they always derail on this curve. That's something I always kept wondering, how on earth are we going to fix this here? And I don't know how Reverend Audrey managed with his original one. He must have had a particular way of leveling his baseboards, because I think on the notes, because he built his baseboard different to how I built mine. Because the backseat sides on his original one were a lot more thicker. They were like probably like 1 inch thick, I suppose here, just like the same width for these hinges. So you can understand it was a very heavy baseboard. But at this, I think in the photographs there on the side, he bolted a bit of board on the side to make sure the two boards were secure and level. But I don't know in regards to the tunnel section. That's another thing I need to think about. What's the deal with that? So, but anyway, yeah, we were having troubles with that every once in a while when we're operating the layout, as well as inside the tunnel, because like when you're trying to operate like the stone trains, you're reversing the wagons out of the fill yard into the tunnel, and then suddenly, as it's going across the baseboard joint here, you just hear the clatter of a wagon derailing. It's like, oh, have to go in and try and re-rail this again, or maybe another engine is just derailed in the tunnel, which is not uh, very, very, very helpful for us. So in the end, I actually ended up getting this idea actually whilst I was at the Audio Extravaganza last year, and apparently there's a bit of track on Ffarquhar Mark II which connects the main board to the tunnel. And it's basically a removable bit of it's basically like a bit of set track or something like set track mishmash that Reverend Audrey combined up together, and that just basically just slotted over the baseboard joint and was just plugged in basically just like with a few rods, and that was pretty much it. That was just power connected. So that's what I'm going. That's why I thought about doing this here. So what I've done is I bought a new piece of set track that just move that was the same radius as the one that was there previously. Loosened the rail joiners at one end. Kept the original rail joiners at that end here, so they're all fine here. Loosened the rail joiners at that end. So when it comes to dismantling the layer to take the shows, I just have to slide the rail joiners across, and then just lift this this bed track section up. And it's the same thing inside the tunnel as well. It's the same thing. I've done the exact same thing for that. So this hill actually, just so I can get access to it there, this hill is actually removed. I've actually now made this hill removable. So it's still, I need to get a proper shelf made up for it here. So that's another job to do before the show. Just so that it probably sits in place and doesn't move about out there. So, but yeah, there's another bit of set track in there. You can just see inside the tunnel. There you go. That's what the interior of my tunnels look like. Just cardboard and newspaper. But yeah, there's that bit of set track there, and that just connects up here. It's just sitting loose at the moment here, so it's okay to remove. And yeah, I've done several tests with here, done a few times there, and it all works. It actually works really, really well. And yeah, that's another problem sorted out. The signals all work okay. This one here just needs a wee bit of tuning again here, because when I was putting this this bit of track in again, because I had to relay the core the underlay. Fortunately, Pico don't no longer do this stuff anymore, which is really unfortunate because I really do love this stuff. But I'd say the reason why they stopped producing it here is because it deteriorates after 10 years. So I think this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to be using this stuff. Like this last run of I don't know how long here it's been now. I'd say another maybe couple of years now here. I'd say the stuff will probably be ready to be relayed again. So what I'm going to do then is to take up all the track and then relay it again, but this time on a cork base, and then just do proper ballast on top here. But I think for this case here, I think I might just leave this track as it is for now. But we'll just see how things go. I can't really guarantee if anything will happen or not. It's just a matter of time, so you just see what happens, really. Then finally here, just the last thing that needs to be sorted out here for the layer before the show is to try and get the isolation sections sorted out here. And there's my E2 Thomas there undergoing some repair. Just having a few motor issues. That's just pretty much it here. And of course, Daisy's my work in progress new Daisy model, which I hopefully will have. Well, I won't have it ready for this show here coming up here, but maybe, hopefully, if the Culture shows on this year, then maybe Daisy might make an appearance. We'll see, but we'll see how we go from there. But yeah, I want to try and see if I can get the isolation sections here made up for this here, just so that everything has its own isolated section for easy for storage purposes, and also have another isolation section here for the quarry tramway. Because even though I do have an isolation switch here installed here, I think another one here should be needed here because Thomas and Daisy are going to be stored in here anyway. So Thomas is going to be stationed here, and then Daisy is going to be stationed here. So I actually found out here also in notes here. These markings were also part of the the back scene here. So I have no idea what that is. I think it's just meant to be X and then B. So apparently that's what it says here. So it starts off Thomas is at X, Daisy's at B. I don't know. It's a very weird naming position for the stock positions. But apparently, if that's what he has, so be it. But yeah, hopefully we'll see if we can get things sorted. Right, before I go, I've got to finish up here because I've got to make an important trip here to go to today to get some photographs for a friend. So let's see Thomas running before we go, if he wants to go. He's just playing up a little bit. I think he's just a bit shy for the camera. Come on, mate. What's wrong? Something is tripping that, I think. Yeah, Daisy was causing a short there, so sorry. Alright, he's around the curve, okay. Now this Thomas will also need a bit of a tidying up at some point here as well before the show, so just so I can get him ready to go. I think this paint layer here I have at the moment here, I think it just needs to be reapplied again, and the lining definitely needs some improvement. So there we go. Like I said, that signal there is currently not working at the moment here, so let's just imagine the signal is up. Off he goes. Whoops. Up in there. Oh, he just hit the hit the roof of the scenery. That moved a little bit. That's because I patted it down earlier. That's why. There we go. Like I said, there's still some tweaks and all to sort out here, but there we go. There you go. Just do the left side there. There you go. Thomas and Carnival. That's sort of ready to go. Well, nearly all set ready to go, but you get the idea. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys soon here. I've got to get going and get this little job sorted out here. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you at the Model Railway Show. The show is at the Bangor Grammar School on the date of the 23rd and the 24th of March. So if you're there, anybody in Northern Ireland who wants to come and see this layout, you're more than welcome to come to see it. All right, see you guys then. Bye-bye.